All right, so now we'll work on generating the short code and short URL. Okay, so for that, what we are going to use, first we'll create a service. So in Blazing URLs project, let's create a new folder, services, and in this we'll say short code service, or maybe short code generator service. All right, okay, so here we will have one method. So public async task of string. All right, so generate short code async. Okay, and from here we will return short code. So first we need to generate a short code. So for that, what we'll do, we'll simply follow the basic approach, where we'll say we'll have all the available characters which can be used as that short code. All right, so we can use all the character from A to Z, uppercase, lowercase, and 0 to 9 numbers. These are the only thing we are going to use. So let me copy this. All right, here we have A, B, C, D till Z, capital letters, uppercase letters, then lowercase letters, and then 0 to 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, now out of these characters, now we need to randomly pick some characters. All right, this is the very basic implementation of generating a short code. So we could have duplicate short code. For that we will have a separate logic, but right now we'll simply say we'll have simple short code chars, which are characters. So here what we will do, we'll simply say enumerable dot repeat. Okay, so it actually generates a sequence that contains one repeated value. We want to repeat something, and how we are going to do that? So we'll have characters, then how many characters we need. So we need the short code length actually. So we are following 6 or 8 characters length. Minimum is 6 or 8 what we are using. If we'll go to this link, and here we have short code 6. 6 is the minimum. So we'll use 6 here. All right. Now from here, we will simply add select method. Okay. And from here, now from here, instead of C, this is not C, this is this complete string actually. So the name is up to us. So this is of type string. So basically we are repeating this whole string, and from here we will get random character. All right, so here what we can do, we can simply get a random character. So here we'll say some random number, and this random number we need random, or maybe we could say random dot share dot next, and here we will use one overloaded method with min value and max value. So inclusive lower bound, that means that initial value it should be included, or we can have max value. So start from 0, the actual lower bound number to be generated, max value must be greater than or equal to 0. So it will start from 0 and it will go till exclusive max value. So here we can say s dot length. All right, so now we will have a random number here from 0 to s dot length, which is this length. All right, we can have this outside as well. So here we'll say int available length, something like this, chars dot length. This we already know, available length. Now we have this random number. So from this s, which is this string which we are repeating so again and again, and from this we will get this random character. All right, now this select, this is going to return us INumerable of string, we could say to array. Now we check, it is going to return us character array, and from this character array we want to again convert it to string. So from here we can say return new string, and we'll pass this character set. Now our random shortcode generator method is ready. So all right, now there is one case. Now this shortcode, this could be duplicate. We can have the same shortcode in our database. So in that case we are not going to use that. In that case we need to generate another shortcode. Okay, so for that we'll have our logic. First thing, let's move this section to a separate helper method. So here we'll say private static string, and let's say generate shortcode. We'll have length parameter, how many characters of this shortcode we want, and then we'll simply move this entire thing here. All right, we are returning this, everything is fine. This length, this is going to be this length. So instead of 6 we'll have this length like this. Let's say, let's rename this to available cache, available characters basically. All right, now we can get this. So here we will have short code equals this generate short code with this 6, and we are good. Now we can return this short code. So this method is ready. Now what if this short code already exists in the database? So we need to check if this exists in database. So for that we need to inject our DB context here. So because we are using Blazor, so it's good idea to use DB context factory. So I DB context factory, application DB context, application DB context, and we have this context factory. All right, so we'll generate, create and assign a field. Now we have this underscore context factory. Now here we are going to use this context factory. All right, so first we'll generate shortcode, then we are going to use await using var context equals underscore context factory dot create db context async. What is the issue? Dispose async. If we are using await, then let's use this create db context only. All right, now here we are going to apply a while loop. And here we will add a condition with await context dot links dot as no tracking, because we don't want to track any change for this. We will simply check if this code exists or not. All right, and then we'll say dot any async, and then we'll provide our predicate that l dot short code if this short code exists in our database. Let's remove this and let's do this. All right, so first we have generated short code, then we created instance of our db context, then we are checking if this short code exists in the database. If yes, then we want to again generate the short code. So here we'll simply say short code equals same call, actually the short code equals generate short code like this. All right, now it will again generate short code. If this exists already, it will again generate short code, and then it will again going to check that new short code if that exists in the database. If it exists second time also, then it will again come here and it will again generate a short code. So it will keep on doing this unless it finds a unique short code which does not exist in the database already. All right, and when that case meets, then this condition is going to be false and it will simply come out of here, then return short code, it will simply return that short code. Okay, all right, and here for this db context factory, I guess we have not changed the default registration. So if you go to program.cs, here we have this add db context. So builder.services.add db context, which came with the ASP.NET Core identity when we selected that individual accounts authentication when we were creating this project. So instead of add db context, we'll say add db context factory. This is the only thing we need to change, and now it will register idb context factory which we are using. All right, so our short code generator service is ready. We are generating short code, we are checking in the database, so this short code is going to be unique. And it's always a good idea to have some let's say breaking logic. Maybe we want to retry for some time, we don't want it to run always, although we know our use case is short, so we are good with this. But you can have some breaking logic, maybe that you want to let it try for 10 times, 20 times, 50 times, that kind of stuff. All right, now let's do this. Let's extract a database interface from this. Let's add to current file only. We have this I shortcode generator service. Let's register this. So we'll come to program.cs. Here before builder.build, we'll simply register this. So builder.services.add transient I shortcode generator service with shortcode generator service. And now we are good. We can use this shortcode generator service now. All right. So where we are going to use this? We are going to use this in our main service, which is going to be, let's say, link service, in link URL service, basically, where we want to perform CRUD operations on link. So let's, in this service folder only, we are going to create one more file. We'll say link service. All right. Here first thing, let's inject our db context factory, idb context factory of type application db context. So context factory underscore context factory. Then we need our I shortcode generator service as well. All right, so now we have this constructor ready. Now in this we will add all our methods which we need. So first method we need, that is going to be creation of a short URL, that means insert a new link, generate short code, short URL basically. So here we'll say public async task, and we'll see what we want to return here from here. But here we'll say create link async. Okay, and here we want to have something, some link. All right, so for this link, that means this is going to be some DTO. So now we need to create a DTO, or maybe for creating a link we just need two things: one, the long URL; two, the user who is trying to generate the short link, right? So we can remove this. We can simply have two things. We'll have string long URL, and we can have string user ID. That's all what we need. All right, or maybe let's do this. Let's add these two things in some DTO only. So we'll go to our client project, because DTO is going to be used from client as well. So in this client project, we are going to create a folder, let's say DTOs, and inside this we are going to create a DTO link create DTO. All right, let's create it as a record. So we'll say public record string long URL, string user ID, and let's, yeah, I think that two things are fine. Alright. Link create DTO. Now instead of having these two things like this, we'll simply say link create DTO, and here we have this DTO. Alright. Now when we are creating a link, first thing we need to get a shortcode. So here we'll say var shortcode equals, this we'll get from our shortcode generator service dot generate shortcode async. Alright, now we have shortcode. After this, we'll simply generate a link entity. So var link equals new link. Let's fill out the fields. ID will be automatically created. And let's go one by one. Long URL. This is going to be dto.long URL. So spelling mistake. Let's rename it to long URL. Save it. Change it to long URL. All right. After that, short code. So we'll already have short code. After that, we have is active. Let's set it to true by default. Then we have analytics, which with navigation property it will be automatically added. Then we have user ID. So dto.user ID is fine. And then we have one more, that is short URL with the domain. So this is domain slash short code. So we need to get some domain from here. So ideally how this is going to work, we are going to have one more project which will be the actual URL, which actual project which is going to resolve these URLs. So that is going to be a separate project. So for that, what we can do, we can simply have one app setting here. So in app setting.development.json, let's say just have it domain https something, some project, some 1 2 3 4. We'll see when we'll create that new project, then we'll see what is the actual domain, and when you deploy it, then you will have this, the actual URL from there. All right. So we have this domain. Now we need to access this domain in here. So because that is in app setting, we can simply inject I configuration, and from I configuration we can simply access it. So we'll say configuration, and then here we can access the domain. This we know it should not be null, and if it is null, then we simply want to throw it. So that check, if you want to add, you can add it here. So we'll say domain equals underscore configuration dot, or maybe just configuration dot domain, and here you can check, or maybe you can add it here only. We'll say throw new, maybe what should be, we can say argument null. Should we pass that or no? So we'll see what we can do. Maybe new invalid operation exception for now. Maybe I don't know what should be the correct error here, but let's do this. Here we can pass a message. So we can simply say domain is not defined in app settings, something like this. All right. So now we have this domain. Now we can directly use this domain here like this, comma, and we are good. Now our link entity is ready. Now we can directly add it to our context. So for that, first we need to create our context. So we'll say var, or maybe we'll say await using var context equals underscore context factory dot create db context. All right, now we have this context, and on this context dot link links dot add async, and we can add our link model here with await. All right. Now when this is ready, we can simply call save changes async. So context.save changes async. Now our link is created, added into the database. Now we are good with this. All right. Now we need to return something. So from here, let's do this. Let's go to our DTOs. Where our DTOs are there, I'm going to create one more file. I'll call it link DTO. Okay. And let's have some properties here. So we'll say ID. Second, we'll have string long URL. Then we are going to have string short URL. Then we are going to have bool is active. We are going to use this link DTO throughout our front end basically. So from here, as from this service, let's return that link DTO. All right. So we'll create this link DTO. We'll say return new link DTO. And here we can start adding things. So first thing, ID, which we can get from this link.id, which will be filled now by entity framework. Then we'll have long URL. Then we'll have is active. Then we'll have short URL, link.short URL, and is active. It should be link.isActive. This long URL, we are getting it from DTO, although both are same, so we can use DTO.long URL or maybe link.long URL for consistency. So now our creating a link method, this is ready. All right. After this, we'll work on other methods as well. Let's pin this.